This is one of my interns that I was just talking about. Well, awesome. I'd like to go ahead and get started, and then I'm gonna make sure I keep an eye on the room as people are coming in. I really appreciate you all joining this Zoom today because I'm really excited. One, that an idea that was in my head just came out of me, and I pitched it to Aurora History Museum and they got it. And we're just full-fledged excited about endorsing this and putting money toward it. And so I wanted to share about what this project is about. And it's called Power to the People Creative Project. And it really came out of the idea of how can we engage in dialogue in such a way that is thoughtful and fruitful. Not that we don't have those conversations going on right now, but I just have had this actually is the week where Elijah McClain was attacked today. And on the 30th, he died. And so during that time, I was pregnant. And I know for a fact that if I was not pregnant, that I would have been instrumental in bringing or just supporting the cause that was happening. So that is one portion of it, of just being mindful about the state of Aurora and where we are and the issues that are challenges for us, but also celebrating the vast diversity that comes with being in Aurora. I'm from here and I love it here. And I just want to see us continue to thrive and really overcome a lot of those challenges that not only do I see within, me as an adult, but also with my own children and just holistically the whole family. And how can we better have these conversations and be inspired to do it differently, be innovative. So that's what this is about. I should be able to, okay, cool. So I actually ran into Pastor Reed at the town hall that I had attended with the Mayor Kaufman, and the Youth Violence Prevention Program. And what I really gleaned from that is, one, what's amazing is that we have the highest percentage of youth here in Aurora, which is great. But there's also some challenges that I believe that our project, Power to the People Creative Project, can really tackle and identify along with the community. And what I like to coin our phrase as a term that we use here with Power to the People Creative Project is cross-community collaboration. And these are the top risk factors that we want to identify and really find creative ways to bring these things out, these issues out, address them head on, but also find some solutions or start the dialogue. So the first is lack of connectedness. And that has to deal with, just family and adults. I've heard a lot of frustration from family just about like, how do I get my child off of the phone? Or, they're not talking to me, or I think because parents are so busy, have challenges of just being so busy that it's also hard for adults to connect with their children and the youth in their home. And the next is substance abuse, racial tensions, and low levels of commitment to school, mental health, and lack of involvement in social activities. And I went through those instead of like touching each one, just to say that we do need to cut ourselves a little bit of slack when it comes to post-COVID, and how everyone is learning how to find their new normal, find their way in this new just community that we have. So I felt like these top risk factors is something that we can tackle And I wanted to break it up into 4 areas that we're addressing. And as a doula, so I'm a doula, and doulas, it's the misconception is that we're doulas just for the birthing parent, but we're actually doulas for the entire family. So I wanted to doula Aurora. And the way that we broke it out to be holistic when we address the family is one, Black maternal health. We do know for sure that the highest infant mortality rate for Black mothers are 4 times more likely to die in childbirth than white mothers, as well as their babies thriving that first year. So it's not just that labor portion, but it's really that postpartum, and then also how is the baby being affected? And I'm like, wow. Anyway, so Black maternal health, also youth education, public safety, again, just referring to the relationship that needs fostering with Aurora Police Department. And then general health and wellness here in Aurora. And the reason I say general is a lot of Black maternal health is all encompassing for Black women. But with health and wellness, I have I have one intern that's a young man, and I do have an intern on the line. I'd love for her to speak too when I give her a moment. But what I wanted to do is make sure that I let him take the reign in terms of how do you communicate to the Black male. What are the issues that you feel like need to be addressed that I don't really know how to hold space for because I don't know. And I love that he's on the team. And then I also contracted Merrick's Films. And Merrick's Films is actually, the owner is a friend of mine that we worked on the Giving Project with Chinook some years ago. And he is just phenomenal in the way that he's able to translate his experience to video and social media. Like, it's amazing. So I'm really glad that he was willing to do this project with me. And we just filmed, we filmed on Monday at the Elijah McClain site, and where he was assaulted and ended up being killed. And then also the light rail. So I'm excited to talk a little bit about our initiatives because they're fast going and they just kind of unfold for the year. I keep touching my computer. So now I could not do this by myself. So I would like to just highlight my interns. And actually, I have 3 now. And Heaven was a freshman at Mount St. Mary's University. And so we had a discussion about just capacity. And I'm really thankful that she was, with her time, that she was able to be with us. So now we're down to 3. And Salam is on the line. So I'd love for her to just introduce herself and what she's working on. And then before I do that, we also have Allison, who is at the University of Penn, and then Chet, who's at Harvard. So they're not on the call, but I just want to hold space for a second to let Salam introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Salim. I'm currently at Worcester, Ohio. I go to the College of Worcester. I'm a global international studies major. I'm currently in my senior year, so graduate in May. And yeah, I'm really, really proud to be a part of this project. I'm working on really reaching out to the international community in Aurora and have more collaboration with our people. And yeah, but I'm really excited to be here.
Thank you for jumping on. Yeah, so we meet weekly or every other week together. And then on every other week following the week that we meet, I meet with them individually. And they are just subject matters in their own space. They work really well independently and make sure that I have the correct research, make sure that I'm not veering off to the left, make sure they're scheduling things for me and adding to just the support for content. So here is our project timeline. And we started in August with the Peace Pledge campaign. And I really love this because it's a subtle way. It's not something that I want to market in such a way that's like, endorse peace. Like, sign this petition that says you need to be peaceful because we're sick of this fighting, it's not like that. What it is, it's more so just suggestion, the power of suggestion, the power of it kind of popping up on your timeline. And I really, maybe do this. My daughter wants her Bible. So, okay, baby. Okay. Hold on. So basically what it is, it's a QR code. And on that QR code is a form where actually youth, middle school and high school can fill out to opt in, but also any community members, business owners are also welcome to opt in. And then we're keeping a spreadsheet of the individuals that have signed, and then they have access to community news information, prizes, which we'll keep at the Aurora History Museum. At the Aurora History Museum, and then any additional opportunities that come our way, because I really feel like as they are now, that there'll be other opportunities that come that we want to be able to dispense out. And I was driving yesterday and I was thinking, I would love for this to continue forever. So that like, just a database like you have any other subscriptions to things, that this would grow into something that, for sure would be solid in Aurora, but potentially statewide, potentially nationwide, just to clarify what does it really mean to have peace. And what it talks about in there is not just about your interactions with other people, but also honoring your space, like just sustainability in your earth. And so I really liked that portion of the pledge and the launching of it. And we're really starting to meet. I have been meeting with a lot of adults, but I have a couple of appointments scheduled with young people to talk to them about it. And then of course my kids, I'm always like, well, can you put it on your Snapchat today? I love engaging my own kids around it and their curiosity. I don't force it, but I do like that they are starting to share content about that. So the next in September is what we're launching, is really looking for 25 young people that are unashamed, like unapologetic about their art. So spoken word, rap, visual artists, fashion, whatever it is, that we take over the light reel for the day. And so what we would do is, so we're having a call to action on submissions in September, for the month of September. Then in October, that first part of October, we are having workshops for those young people to tell them more about this project, give them history, give them inspiration to be able to create original pieces for this equity tour. And so we're just gonna buy tickets for them to go onto the light rail and do performative art installations, either on or off of the light rail. And so I have been starting to work with RTD to let them know, but I went on, like my son, my oldest son and my daughter, we went on the light rail like in the middle of the night and just did like TikToks. And like I was taking pictures of like conceptually what could this look like. And I think that it would be really powerful for some of it to be scripted and for some of it to not be scripted, as long as the young people are safe. We'll have, just uniform clothing for them, and they really know why they're there and are able to, we can hold space for them. So that will be in October. We'll make sure that we're filming all of that for marketing um, throughout the end for our end of the end of the grant project. And then November, before the kids go on break, and families are not on break during Thanksgiving and getting ready for the holidays, we're creating what at the time I called a resource fair, but really what it is a family heal workshops. And heal because we're going to be addressing how to manage what does it actually look like to have nonviolent communication in your home? So different modules. And I got this idea from Chinook. And Chinook, when you become a cohort within this organization, so they're a philanthropy organization if you're not familiar. What they do is have people apply who are passionate about raising money and giving money to nonprofits or initiatives that you typically wouldn't give money to. So we were in this cohort along with Kai, who's now my marketing videographer. And those sessions were intense, very intense. We talked about class, we talked about race, and I would like that same sort of module, but more so with the sensitivity of having the entire family. We would be nominating families so that they really understand what will be happening because we want to equip them with tools that they can take back into their homes. So nonviolent communication is one session, but we're also talking about trauma, as well as ways that we can strategize around different parenting, having conversations around just economics. And we'd like to have vendors there, but these vendors are like a respite. Like you can go out of your workshops whenever you want and go, see what kind of other resources are out there. So it's experiential, but it's also informational, and we want to really build community and we want to feel as if the entire whoever the family member was that went to the workshop feels inclined to share about everyone what they learned. So resource fair just doesn't give it justice. And then I also decided that at a school, I don't want to do it at a school. I'd like to find something more intimate and something that would make everyone in the family feel safe. Not that schools aren't safe spaces, but when kids go into schools, they're thinking, I'm going to school. Like, or family, whatever that frame of reference for school is. So I'm looking for something more intimate. And we'll just love on them, just making sure they're fed, making sure they feel like they're not pressured to just sit there the whole time, and that we really are speaking to the family with all the different learning styles, inclusive, basically, on all levels. And then in January, we have a huge marketing campaign where we're compiling all of what has happened into a book that I'm in the process of writing about this experience. And during that time, it'll all be submitted by January. So from January to March, oh, I have 10 minutes. Shoot. From January to March, what's going to happen is we'll just be doing pre-sales. And then in March, we're having a launch party with the art show, just showing all of what we've done throughout this year. And the idea really is I don't see this being the ongoing part. Power to the People Creative Project being something we do every year. But what I really hope is that we're able to spark thought and inspiration enough that new things have transpired because of what we've done, a catalyst. The only thing I would love to see stay is the Peace Pledge. And with the book, a tool that organizations can use, a tool that parents can use to say, wow, like I'm inspired. This is something I want to do. This is how do I get the money to do it? How do I use the resources that I have right now? and move forward in that. So, are there any questions?
My one question is, what would be the best way for us to get youth engaged, to either send out information or to get youth engaged in the upcoming art takeover of the RTD?
Yes, yes. So there's a couple of strategies. Obviously, I'm a parent for real, like a real one, like I'm at basketball games and stuff. So I do utilize that. So I've identified some parents that I know are really instrumental within the schools, teachers I've met with, not teachers, liaisons of the Aurora Public Schools, and then also Cherry Creek. And then there's some organizations that I have on the listserv that I'm getting to, but really it's me wanting to increase my time in front of young people. So, you know, club, Boys and Girls Club, all of those is you have the 16th Street. There was a block party that the Youth Violence Prevention Program did off of 16th. And we had to reschedule my talk with them, but I really want to talk about doing a consistent time with them. And not just talking about peace, but like I just want to hear like what's going on with you at school. Um, you know, how what is it you're looking for? You know, so to be a resource that way, I really believe in organic building. So, and then obviously meetings like this with like all-star people. I have two on my line that are in the community, like been doing the work. So yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
Well, the next steps is I'd love for you to just be looking out for our newsletters and some of the offerings that we have. Please, you know, just send any person or individual that you think might be interested in um, giving prizes or being a part of the equity tour that are artists that would love to mentor. Those are things that we're looking for right now. And um, yeah, just, you know, just word of mouth. I love it being this way. Then not that the news isn't great, but I just really want to make sure that the people know that we're for the people before we are the top down. I really believe the down is the top. So that's my philosophy. But thank you so much for joining. And if there's any other questions, our email is power to the people creative project at, oh, and it's a two, I'm sorry, power to the people creative project at gmail.com. So thank you for joining.
Thank you for inviting me, and I'm excited to see what comes next, and keep me informed. Let me know how I can be helpful.
Absolutely. Thank you so